I know some of you guys really loves the outdoors and now it is a little bit gloomy, so it's perfect timing. Okie dokie, let's start by standing on our mats. Okay, we're gonna warm up first, standing, and just by twisting our bodies to the left and to the right. Your hands can be anywhere here, maybe by your sides. Just, you know, like a T-shaped position, far from you. Whew. Breathe. Excuse me if you hear any construction. There's a lot of construction going on here. And also my camera is inside of the room, which is a little bit colder. Because if it's like 5 to 10 minutes outside the summer heat, my camera dies. All right, now let's be steady and we're gonna rotate our heads to the left and to the right, or whatever feels good for you. There's no right or wrong here. We're really just gonna be warming up our full body before we go on to like deeper, yummy poses. And maybe you're starting to rotate all the way one direction and then the other direction. It's pretty loud, but we got this. All right, now with our knees, feet very far apart, we're gonna start to bend our knees, right? Doesn't matter if your toes are pointing out or inwards, this is gonna depend on you, but I'd rather have your toes outwards first, right? Eventually, this is gonna be a lot easier when you get more and more flexible, right? The parallel towards each other. Now we're gonna start to pump or pulse our bum up and down. Warming up the legs, the groin area. Say hello, buddy, to our friends. Okay, now let's find our little goddess stance here, if you will. So toes are out, right? Knees stacked on top of your heels, and we're gonna have our hands on top of our knees. Try to really dip down your hips, you know, parallel to your knees as much as you can, and we're gonna burn this way for 5, 4, steady, 3, 2, and 1. All the way, stretch up, knees straight here, reach up, and exhale to goddess pose. Cactus your arms, beautiful. From here, we're gonna pulse some more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay in your goddess, hands down to your knees, and you can have your hands anywhere you want here or position. We're just gonna dip our left shoulder towards the midline. Or a right shoulder, whatever you're facing here, whatever direction really, doesn't matter. Whew, dip, dip, and I like to give it little baby pulses up and down. Good. Back to center, big breath in, reach your hands up, straighten your knees. And exhale, we're gonna do that on the other side. Dip your right shoulder towards the midline. Beautiful. And this time, I like to do left and right. Sliding motion instead of the pulses, right? Just changing it up. Whew. And breathing. Maybe your bones are popping. Maybe it doesn't. Good. Now back to center. Whew. Feeling all the way centered. Hopefully reach your hands all the way up. Breathe in. And exhale, we're gonna try to fold with a wide-legged stance. So I like my feet now turning inwards. Toes inwards, heels out. Good. Now you're gonna find your yummy fold. You can start by actually stretching halfway first. Okay? This way you can stick out your butt, getting that flat back, and then maybe trying to find the ground or the mat with your fingertips. Whew. Before we start to fully fold, we're gonna try to warm up the knees. So now, as you bend one knee at a time, you're gonna really get your feet parallel towards each other or the edges or tops of the mats, right? Having your fingertips on the mat to guide you here as you switch to your side lunges. Down and maybe lowering all the way. Good. Just to where your end range allows. Whew. Okay. Now from here, try to straighten your knee, finding your halfway lift. Breathe in and exhale. Now you're gonna fold all the way down. Maybe your forearms drop down on the mat. Breathe in. Big breath out. Ooh, so good for the backs of the legs, right? Good job. Now, we're gonna switch or crawl our fingertips toward the left side or whatever direction. You can actually face me too. And then finding our pyramid shape. So I want your legs as wide as you can. Try to straighten your knees, both. If you can't fully straighten, you can grab or lift the back heel up and then go from here. From this position, if you're over here, and then the knee, try to straighten it as much as possible. If your knee is not straight in front, you could actually grab some blocks here to get you to where you can straighten your front knee. Okay, but if you can get this position, you're just gonna drag that back heel slowly down and lift the back heel up. Good, let's do this for 3. Slowly drag it down. You should feel this at the back of your leg. Inhale, lift the back heel up. Exhale, drag it down. Lift it up, breathe in. And slowly breathing out, dropping the back heel down. Okay, last one here. Lift the back heel up, breathe in. Flat back here, and exhale. Try to drop the heel if you can. Adjust your distance of your feet where you can fully plant both heels down and fold onto that front leg. Again, breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out to fold all the way to the front leg. That back foot can be on a different angle, right? Depending on you, you could actually keep it to this angle, that 70, 80, depending on how you're feeling. Doesn't have to be this way, right? Like a warrior 1 foot. But it's okay if you can get there too, that's great. Good. All right, now we're gonna bend the front knee, kind of like a high lunge, but your belly is glued to your thigh. Okay, and your fingertips still on the mat. You're gonna come back again all the way. Now, toes are up in front, heel is planting down. So opposite now. What we did from the other side, we're gonna do it opposite this time. So again, high lunge. Ooh, bend the front knee and pyramid shape, but lifting the front toes up. Beautiful. Bend the front knee, high lunge. Ooh, so good here where you feel that stretch. You could dip down, keeping that back knee as straight as possible, engaging your leg muscles, and push back. Pyramid, front toes will lift up. All right, now find that steady, flat back rather. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to fold all the way down to that front leg. Flex that front foot. Hold it here, keeping it steady. Breathing here. Good job. Now you're gonna crawl your fingertips, drop the foot down, crawling the fingertips towards your center, half circle, and then parallel your feet now. You're gonna crawl it towards the opposite side of the mat. Now you're gonna pivot both of your feet to where again it's comfortable for you, keeping both of your knees as straight as possible, coming onto the fingertips. Now it could be parallel to or in line with your foot, right? This is gonna depend on your bone structure. Breathe in, halfway lift. Good job. Exhale, we're gonna fold all the way down. Now from this folding position of your front leg, right? You're gonna come all the way back, heel will lift up. Good. And then keeping this folded position as much as you can. It doesn't matter wherever you are or wherever your fold is. Of course, it's gonna look different, right? To each of us. And then we're gonna plant that back heel down. Ooh, you will feel both of your legs really stretching. You're gonna do this motion as slow as possible, feeling every part of your body. Inhale, lift the heel, the back. Same thing what we did earlier. Exhale, dragging that back heel down. Beautiful. Breathe in, breathing out. Slowly, you're not rushing this movement. Again, breathe in, flat back, or as high as you can lift your torso. Breathing out, dragging and planting that back heel down. Oh. So you're really getting that motion from the back. This front leg is keeping it as steady as possible, right? You could even play with this movement, and you really should feel this on the backs of both of your legs. And maybe your front leg too in the front leg. Okay, last one here. Breathe in, lift that back heel. Breathing out, dropping that back heel down. Beautiful job, and fold. Stay here for a couple of breaths, really tiring our legs, right? You feel this in the groin area, you feel it everywhere. Beautiful. Now coming to your halfway lift, lifting that back heel up, bending the front knee, coming to your high lunge. Belly and thighs are connected. You could try to see if you could keep this balance without the help of your hand. Otherwise, you can drop the fingertips down. Good. Again, from here, we're gonna drop the back heel and then lifting the toes in front of us to stretch the front leg. Ooh, try to straighten your front knee as much as possible, and you can move your hands to where it is comfortable for you to get this like straight front knee. Breathe in and then fold here, stay. Breathe. Now we're gonna give it some movement or motion like what we did earlier. High lunge, breathe in, breathe out, stretch the front knee, toes are up. Breathe in, high lunge, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Ooh, so good. Stay here for a few more. Really stretch the toes or the feet or the legs. Everything actually, right? Ooh. Sometimes, you know, if you're following already a lot of my videos, you already know that I'm doing this. So I'm gonna grab the outside of my right foot, right? The opposite foot. So you can keep your balance here, or the opposite hand rather. And then I twist it or toes towards the midline, just a gentle, right? It doesn't have to look exactly like mine, right? You might over just be here, but if you can go all the way, that's gonna depend on your flexibility, mobility, right? Whew, that IT band stretching, yes, so good. All right, from here coming to our high lunge. Woo! You're gonna step the left foot in front of the other. Good, forward, beautiful, big step. Good job. Now from here, you're gonna try to dip your belly to your thighs, right? So if you're forward here, I want your bum out. Good, behind you. Good, so you're kind of following this movement. So if you kind of like bend your knee like this, right? And then you try to straighten your knee a little bit, right? Bum is out to the back. Again, bending the knees and straightening a little bit. Good. Bending the knees and straightening a little bit. Now to where your belly and thighs are connected and where you could really keep your knees as straight as possible. It doesn't have to be this fold, right? Wherever you are, if this is your maximum, like, you know, hamstring stretch, if you will, just stay here and we're gonna continue to kind of bend one knee at a time and then straightening one knee at a time. Switches here. Whew. So you're kind of also like, if you feel your bum facing to the left and to the right, right? As you bend one knee at a time. Whew. Now this is pretty accessible to a lot of people, right? If you keep on bending the knees. But again, if you're very, very tight, you can always have a block to guide you below your hands and get this moving this way. All right. Whew. Okay. Yes. Now all the way, you're gonna plant your palms down as you step one leg back followed by the other, finding now your high plank. Good. Now let's adjust ourselves to where it's comfortable. Ideally, you can have your shoulders stacked on top of your wrist. So adjust, adjust, adjust. Good. Hands are shoulders distance. Good. And rotate it to where it's comfortable for your shoulders. I like my index fingers forward. Good. Hollow the upper body here, handstand position. This is why I always want to hollow your body, because I want you to get used to that for the handstands. Okay, now you're gonna squeeze your glutes down. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7, rainbow shape with your body, 6, hollow, hollow, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're gonna push all the way as you drop your knees down, back. Good. Now finding that elevated child's pose, if you will, as you sit on your heels. Breathe. All right. Now you're gonna crawl your fingertips to lift your torso up. Sitting on your heels now. Good job. Now from this position, you could grab your blocks again if you need to, if you can't really balance with your toes yet or the balls of your feet. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is you could first grab your fingertips down on the mat if it reaches, right? And then you're gonna lift your knees up, keeping the tippy toes. Heels are up. Good. And then you're gonna drop the knees, right? Let's find first your balance and drop. Doing it repeatedly until you can come to that place or position where you could feel that, ooh, I can balance this way, right? If you need more time, then do this more often. Or if you can't really get there and you're trying to balance, it's hard for your toes, your balls of your feet, then it means you need to work on that more, right? You could actually grab your blocks and then you could maybe put it to your heels to keep you lifted, and you're just gonna hold that position, right? That's a good way to start. Otherwise, if you can hold that position, we're gonna do this repeatedly for about 5 reps. Okay, so you could place your hands in front of you, palms are facing down to keep your balance, or maybe in a T-shaped position or cactus. Try to see first where you could find your balance better, right? It doesn't matter where your hands are placed, depending on you, where you could keep it. How many in this now? 3, right? That's really, really hard. 4, or you could keep it down just to keep your balance. 5. Good. Now all the way, you're gonna stretch again to your child's pose, untucking your toes back and rest for a little bit. That's very intense for the toes. So I want you to wiggle your shins to the right and to the left, right? Rolling. You feel that you're rolling your shins to the right and to the left side. In this Vajrasana or thunderbolt position. Pressing the tops of your feet firmly on the mat. Beautiful. Whew. All the way. Sitting onto your Vajrasana, thunderbolt pose. All right, now we're gonna roll our shoulders back simultaneously. Back, forward, up, and down. Good. That's a great way to strengthen your toes, ankles. Good. Now round your back, maybe have your hands to touch here, forward to fully round your back. Good. Breathing in, cactusing the arms, puffing out your chest, exhaling, rounding the back. Hands to touch if you want. Again, breathing in, cactus. Look up. Exhale to round. Last one, breathing in, cactus. Arch the back. Look up. Ooh, exhale to round the back. Beautiful job. Good. Now hands to your sides. We're going to lift the left hand all the way up to our heads. Breathing in and exhale, you're going to bend to the right side. Good. Good. Coming back to your center. Drop the left hand down. Right hand will sweep all the way up. Breathing in. Whoo, and exhale, you're going to bend to the opposite side. Good. You could try to look down to your left hand and then try to look up to your upper arm or right arm. Whew. Coming back to your center. Good. Now you're going to interlace your fingers behind you. Inhale, stretching your elbows, peeling your shoulders back, back bending. You can have your index finger out here. Look up. And exhale, you're going to fold all the way down. You can have your forehead down on the mat if it touches as you continue to lift your index finger up. Ooh, all the way towards the sky. Yeah, peel, peel. Ah, so good for the shoulders. Hold 3, 2, breathe. And 1, exhale to release and stretch your hands all the way forward for your child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Now from here, you're going to extend your hands all the way forward, slide it to your puppy pose, feeling that belly and thigh connection, right? So if you're over here to your child's pose, I want you to get really glued. Keep on gluing that belly. Compression is key in so many asanas in yoga, and just like entirely, it's really good for, longevity-wise. And we're going to slide forward to puppy pose, and then slide back. This is a great way to get your arch in your puppy pose immediately. If you're used to kind of like stretching forward, dropping the forehead first, right? And then doing this. That's the traditional way. But I do have this, I like this technique too, wherein you like drop your forehead and then sliding your hands forward, following that belly and thigh connection as you slide, opening your thoracic spine and opening now your back. Really like getting every part of your vertebra boom, 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 stacked and elongated before you bend, right? Feeling and visualizing that. Again, dragging yourself back. Now, if this is intense for you, you could curl your toes under this way. This might be a lot easier, so you can find what works best for you here. And then from there, you're gonna slide forward, dropping your chest down. I can't drop, my mic is there. But drop it down if you can and stay there. Breathe, puppy pose. And as you roll yourself forward, coming into your sphinx pose, belly and ribs will drop down on the mat. Look forward, untuck your toes, point it back. Beautiful. Now from here, I want your shoulders away from your ears. Elongate your neck, elongate your head, push your forearms away from you. Good. You're pushing your mat down. You're just staying here. Your back is fully activated. It's not sloppy. You're really feeling the gap from your ears and shoulders, right? Good. Stay there. Breathe. Good. Now you can reach or have your hands to the tops of your mat, the edges, right? And you're gonna find your seal pose. Plant your palms firmly as you straighten your elbows. So if you're very close, right, this is harder depending on where you at in your back bend practice. So you want to just like find what is comfortable to get to that seal pose where your ribs is now lifted from the mat. Drop. So this is also a great way to practice your forearms, or for forearm strengthening. From this position, if you're holding the edges of your mat like how I'm doing here, you're gonna try to really spiral your elbows. Spiraling out, spiraling it inwards. Again, outwards and inwards. Okay, now from your normal position, just relax. I want you to drop your elbows towards the midline. You're kind of gonna be forming this V shape with your hands and arms as you spiral in your elbows. Beautiful. Okay, this is a great technique for, when we flow. This is kind of like, if you guys see me flow, on my Instagram, this is kind of what I do. So you have to, again, lift it up, elbows, spiral it out. And then as you drop the elbows down, you're gonna spiral it in. Boom. Good job. From here, you're gonna grab both of your elbows to upper arm. Good. Depending whichever side, doesn't really matter, right? And then from there, you're gonna come to your curled toes under both of your toes, and you're gonna lift the knees up. Just lifting the knees. You're not really lifting your hips, right? My hip bones are still grounded. You'll just feel your quads are gonna engage here. And then dropping the knees down. Beautiful. Again, lift the knees up. Hold. Quads are working here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down. Beautiful. Now from here, you're gonna, same thing, lift the knees, and this time you're gonna try to lift your hips up. Lift it up, forearm plank. Hold. 5. Dip the hips. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your hips down. Relax here. Hands forward. Sphinx pose. Untuck your toes back. Beautiful job. Stay. And relax your head down. You could relax it on your mat. It doesn't really matter. Or your arms. And breathe here. Finding your relaxed muscles. Everything is relaxed. Feel your body relaxing. All right. When you're ready, we're gonna be doing a lot of back bend strengthening here. Okay, so adjust yourself like how I'm doing. You're gonna have your fingertips interlaced behind. So breathing in, and then try to interlace your fingers. If you're over here, it means you can't really fully open your thoracic spine yet, right? And your back bend is probably not very, very bendy yet. So once you focus on straightening your elbows first, you can have your index finger out to get really that energy line. So you peel these shoulders back, right? So as if imagining your scapula touching behind, you're gonna now try to lift your hands from your bum, and then you're gonna really follow to lift your upper back from the mat. Good. Hold. 5, 4, 3. Breathe. 2, 1. Drop it all the way down. Now release the bind, and you're gonna try to have your hands forward. Okay? Now from here, you're just gonna lift it up and drop it down. Now see which is more easier for you, rather, to lift it up this way or the back way with the bind. This, to me, is a lot easier to really peel the shoulders back. See from here, you can peel it, right? Whereas when you're over here, you're now working more on your back, more than the shoulders, right? So now it really depends on how and what you want to do to really strengthen your back. Now one more way is like hands forward. You're gonna really cactus your arms this way and lift, 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 lift. And drop it down. Beautiful. Forward, drop the forehead. Breathe in. Breathe out here. For momentum, again, breathing in, cactusing the arms. Exhale, drop. Now I want you to try to breathe in here in this position, and you're gonna exhale up, right? I want you to feel both. And exhale all the way up. What feels better for you? For me, when I breathe in, so it depends. It depends on every situation, right? When I have my hands forward, when you breathe in with your belly, it's almost really hard because you're breathing in with your belly unless you breathe in to your lungs. So it depends. What are you doing with your back bend? I really want to strengthen this. So this is like, you could stay there as much as you like. Hold. It's better to hold first than pumping it if you don't have that back muscles yet. And then, at least for me, push back, child's pose. Ooh, intense for your back. You feel that, right? If you didn't feel that, you did not work your back hard enough. We're gonna do a rabbit pose to counteract. I like my knees a little bit together, and then dropping the crown of your head, cupping your heels with both of your hands as you drop and allow the elbows to sink down with gravity. Drop the crown of your head. And straightening or lifting the hips away from your heels. Straightening the elbows. And you feel this from here to the crown of your head to your thoracic. Or like, yeah. cervical and then thoracic. It feels so good. I used to not love this and understand this position, but now it's so good. And you're just breathing here. I like to notice my belly here too. Look at that awkward position. And all the way, you're just gonna sit up to your Vajrasana. Ooh. Ah, the back, so good. Wiggle, wiggle your hands. Good. How are you feeling now? Hope you're fully warmed up. Warming up the spine, so good. All right, we're gonna crawl ourselves or our fingertips in front of us, and now we're gonna find our downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, and lift the knees and hips up, finding your downward dog. Whoo! Legs are warmed up, hands, arms, back. I feel like everything is fully warmed up. Whoo! Now if you need to walk a little bit more of your dog here, or bending one knee at a time, then you can do that too. Ooh, popping of the bones all the way. Yeah, yummy. All right, now let's find our waving of the spine. Forward and back. I'm gonna do it both ways, bent knees and straight knees. I started with bent knees, now I'm gonna do straight knees. Just find what works best for you or what you feel at the moment, and you wanna pair it every time with your breath. Feel fluid here, feeling your body. Now we're gonna be flowing away, if you will. Ooh, that's kind of like how I warm up or warmed up for the day. That's my first warm up for today. Get the flow going, and I'll meet you in a downward dog with your feet together. So it's easy to lift the leg up, right? Okay, when you're ready, we're gonna breathe in, starting with the right leg up. Breathe in, point the toes all the way. Ooh, to where you can really feel that stretch. Exhale, you're gonna bend your knee. Good. Half scorpion, coming to the tippy toe of the other foot if you're not there yet. Shifting your weight forward. And then shifting it back. Now you feel that heel, what we did earlier, same concept. Keeping that lifted leg bent, you're just shifting forwards and backs. If you can drop the heel completely, that is fine. Wherever you are. Beautiful. Now all the way, you're gonna stretch that right leg up, and we're gonna take our vinyasa, rolling our spine forward. Whew. You could keep that right leg lifted like what I'm gonna be doing, or not. Drop to chaturanga, bend the elbows, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Feet together to prepare. We're gonna do that on the other side. Breathe in, left leg lifts all the way up. Ooh, and I like to shift my head, looking forward, bending the left knee, exhale. Slowly lifting the back heel up as you shift forward, point the toes, point, and shift it back, drag the back heel down, keeping the bent knee of your left leg. Again, shift forward. Ooh, such a good stretch. I'm not sure you're feeling it. Breathe in. I like to lift my head up to that scorpion shape, and then dragging that back heel down slowly as I bring in my head to look back. Beautiful. Last one, breathing in. Scorpion shape, back bending, lifting your head, touching your foot with your head. Doesn't really have to touch. You're visualizing and exhaling as you shift back. Looking back. Beautiful. Stretch the left leg and then roll your spine forward. One-legged high plank. Lower down, chaturanga, bend your elbows, rib cage. Squeeze it towards your rib cage. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Ooh, now we're gonna be flowing some more. Roll your spine forward. And then roll it back, feet together. Prepare for the right leg lifting up. Breathing in. And exhale, knee to your chest. Send it high Good. You're gonna slide that right foot outside of the left hand. Good. Fallen triangle. Pivot that back heel down. Left hand sweeps all the way up. Breathe in. Look up. Beautiful. Exhale. You're gonna bend the right knee. Good. Stretch up. Beautiful. Left knee. Left hand will drop all the way down. And you're gonna send that right knee, slide it down first, and then knee to your chest. You're not done. You're gonna swift it back. So you're gonna open this right knee from your chest, open it to the right side. Beautiful. All the way as you pivot that back foot. Heel now is grounded and slowly back foot is dropping down for your wild thing here. Beautiful. Right hand sweep up, sweeping down. Doesn't have to touch the ground wherever you are. We're holding 3, 2, 1. And you're gonna come all the way back to that right hand down on the mat. Lifting that back foot. Woo, that's a great twist. And right leg up. 3-legged dog. Rolling forward. Vinyasa through. And downward facing dog. Beautiful. Feet together. We're gonna do that on the other side. Left leg lifts all the way up. Breathe in. And knee to chest. Breathe out. Beautiful. Left leg, sweep it outside of your right hand. Good. Fallen triangle on the other side. Drop the back heel down. Good. Right hand sweeps all the way up. Breathing in. And now we're gonna circle this arm to change it up. Whoo. And exhale to bend that front knee. Stretch. And then drop the right hand down as you slide that foot down. Send the left knee up to your chest. Beautiful. And you're gonna drop that right heel towards the right side as you send that left knee. So you're now on a side plank here. Left knee up. You're gonna drop it behind you for your wild thing. Beautiful. Left hand sweeps all the way up and down on the mat, the ground. Whew. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Circle that left hand for 3, 2, and 1, just to even that other one out. Left hand will drop down, coming back to that one-legged high plank. Beautiful. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Who drop the knees, sit on your heels, still curl toes under, and breathing in, reach your hands all the way up, and exhale, hands to your heart space. Just a little bit of a break here. Feel your body from the crown of your head to your toes. We're not done here. We're just taking a break. Whew. All right. When you're ready, wiggle your hand. Ooh, now the sweat is dripping. It's getting hot. Excuse me, how are you doing there? Did you sweat or not because you're in air conditioned or cold weather? All right. From here, we're gonna try to stand up in our tippy toes, right? That's why we warmed up earlier this way. It doesn't matter if your knees are touching or not here, but we could, again, fingertips down next to you or next to your sides, lift your knees up. I like this with my knees together and my thighs. So again, this is gonna depend on you. And then you're gonna find your balance here, okay? So slowly, you're gonna let go of the hands and sweep it forward. Doesn't matter if they're touching down or like facing down or together. And then you're gonna go all the way up with this position. When you're ready, you're gonna breathe in as you lift all the way up. 3, 2, and 1. Chair pose. And then exhale, palms to touch as you bring your heels down. Good job if you followed along. You're gonna step the right leg forward. Beautiful. And right hand will sweep all the way up. Breathing in here for momentum, lifting that back foot up and then bending the left knee. Good. You're gonna grab it with the other hands here to exhale as you kick that foot up. And then hands, you could keep it forward. Doesn't matter if your palm, you want it up or down. To find your balance, you're holding your dancer's pose. Look, one point in front of you. Love that warm up for the back. This got so easier. Ooh, and slowly, you're gonna let go of that foot. Beautiful, hands forward, still bent knee. Try to keep that balance. And then you're gonna send that left knee as close to your chest as much as possible. Beautiful, now hug it with your hands. Good job if you followed along with that balance. And then you're gonna shift that left knee outside of your body. Whew, good. Right hand will now sweep all the way up. And you're gonna help that left foot to come to your tree pose, right? So grab it, send it as much as possible up of your knee or, next to your groin area. Hands all the way up if you can to touch or to your heart space. Find your balance. Breathe. I know the right leg, you feel that it's burning. Now, if you're up for more challenge, you got this. We're gonna come to that tippy toe of that right foot. Okay, it is intense. My foot is burning, but we're gonna push ourselves harder. We're just gonna do one tippy toes. When you're ready, you're gonna lift up and drop. Beautiful. And drop it all the way down. You're gonna shake your body, shaky, shaky. And we're gonna do that on the left leg. Whew, how is that for you? Ooh, popping of the bones. When you're ready, you're gonna step the left leg forward. I want you to really focus on one point in front of you. Left hand will sweep all the way up as you step onto that left foot forward, lifting that back heel now as you bend that right knee. Grab it with your right hand, either inside or outside, depending on how you want your dancer's pose. Breathe in here, lengthen your spine, reach up. Exhale, drop the left hand down as you kick that right foot up. Beautiful job. Good, find your balance, breathe, stay. Smile. Good, breathing in and breathing out. Good, higher, higher, higher if you can. And you're gonna, again, same thing what we did earlier. Let go of that hand, hands forward, both of them. You could even have them to touch as you send the right knee up, up, up to your chest. Beautiful. Now you're gonna hug it with your hands. Whoop, find your balance. Good job. If you followed along. If you're not, if you fell, just pick yourself back up. Good. We're holding. Now, we're gonna swing that right knee out to the right side as you keep that left hand to the opposite side. Find your balance. Point the lifted toes, point, point, point. And maybe your left hand will now sweep all the way up. Beautiful. From there, you're gonna guide that right foot again inside to touch the upper inner left thigh. Beautiful. Of course, if it's on your knee, that's fine. Just try to lift it up higher than your knee. Right hand will now sweep all the way up for your tree pose. Breathe in, exhale, hands down to your heart space or your forehead. Breathe out. Whew. Stay. And to the count of 3, we're gonna lift the left heel up. 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up and down. Whoops. That's hard for me, from my bunion surgery. And all the way, drop it down, wiggle, wiggle your body. And we're gonna take a little bit of a break as we're gonna do side bends on the standing position. How are you doing? Before we do our side bends, I want you to really get a rotation of your hips. Doesn't matter whatever direction. You could do both directions, kind of like you're stirring a witch pot. You know that? That's how I visualize this. Ooh, big one, right? Like I'm a witch. Oh! You know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm gonna put an image here. All right, more. Whoo, for your waistline. I used to do hula hoops when I was young. I don't know why I shared that. Okay, sweaty Betty. Have your feet as wide as it's comfortable for you to do side bends. When you're ready, we're gonna breathe in all the way up. Interlace your fingers all the way. Elevate your shoulders, tuck your rib cage in. So I'll just show you my sides, right? So you're not back bending. I want you to bring your rib cage down. Beautiful, that's how you want this. And as you stretch up, breathing in, keeping the rib cage down, that's really hard to breathe. Right? And then exhale, bend to the right side or whatever side. If you want to follow this way, that's okay. Your left side. Stay. And back to center. Breathe in, stretch again up. Ooh, rib cage down. Exhale to the opposite side. Ooh, how are you doing? Yes, feel that stretch. Side body and back to center. Let go of your hands. Shaky, shaky. Goddess pose. Boom. There, how does that feel? How's your body now? It's like, ooh, a little bit more kind of loosened up, warmed up, right? All right, inhale, palms to touch. Straighten your knees. Exhale to goddess. All right, we're gonna pick up a little bit faster pace this time. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna do high lunge here. Okay, one side first. You're gonna drop that back knee, boom, and lift up. Warrior one. Drop the back knee. You can have your hands to touch and lift up. Warrior one. Again. So now I'm just working on the back leg, right? So if you notice, this one doesn't really matter, whatever you're like comfortable here, but I'm really working on the quads, like the stretch of that inner thighs as I lift up, trying to straighten my back knee as much as possible. So we're just gonna like keep that. We're not gonna focus on the back bends or whatnot. And just doing that. You're gonna bring your legs. Beautiful. Work on the gluteus muscles. Beautiful job. Goddess pose. And then we're doing that on the other side. Ooh, lift your hands all the way as you pivot both of your feet. Coming to your warrior one. Drop the back knee down. Good. I like to adjust myself where I can feel this inner thigh stretch, right? So if I lift my back knee, woo, right? So almost like dropping the heel. It depends on you, wherever you want to really feel the stretch or what you want to work on here. But that's what I'm trying to target here. You could keep your hands here and then lift up as you do warrior one. Breathe in, exhale to drop. So depending on you, there's no right or wrong here. Just really, woo! This is harder for me always, the left leg, because of my bunion surgery. All right, from here, we're gonna drop the hands down and we're gonna come back to our downward facing dog shape. So find your down dog. Whew. And now I want you to really push your head towards the midline, or your looking back up. All right, now I want you to get a closer stance with your down dog, right? To where you could maybe drop the crown of your head down on the mat. It doesn't have to, or your forehead, right? Depending on you. So maybe you can widen your arms if that feels better for you to drop your head down. Whew. There's no right or wrong. You could continue to bend that elbows with whatever feels comfortable for you. I just want you to get that full freaking stretch. Good job. All right, now let's take a moment to get to our high plank as we vinyasa through. Shift forward, shoulders past the wrist, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Whew. We're gonna rest here for a little bit. Reset your body, breathe in, breathe out. Good. You're gonna heels to touch, push back, and you're gonna hop forward to your malasana, yogi squat. Good. I like my feet out, heels towards the midline, and palms to your heart space. Whew. Your elbows will help to stick out your knees. Look at one point in front of you here. Good. And then from here, you're gonna send your hands forward. Now, you're gonna try to shift your weight forward, getting that like, still like that belly and thigh connection, if you will, right? This is so good for compression, wherein your knees are now out and you're dipping your torso down again. Whew. You will feel this in your inner thighs. This should burn your inner thighs, right? Even your hamstrings, your legs. Good. From this position, you're gonna drop your bum. Beautiful. Lifting your toes, finding your balance as you grab both of your heels with both of your hands. Good. You're gonna find your wide-legged boat pose. Whew. Okay, if you're here, right? Focus. Inhale. Open up. Point the toes all the way and exhale here. Look at one point in front. We're holding. That's very, very loud. I don't know if you heard that. That's a huge, huge truck. All right, holding. And as I'm holding this, I'm really engaging or squeezing my core. Squeeze your core. We're not relaxed here. We're working out here. Good job. And drop it down, feet together for our Baddha Konasana. Inhale, flat back. Stretch your spine and exhale to fold all the way down. Ooh, so good. You don't have to really fold all the way down. That to me, see this moment, my hips already started to pop here. It's a great way. You could adjust the distance, right? Doesn't have to be close to your bum, just to where you could maybe get this like lower lumbar arch, you know, that natural arch in your back instead of like this, right? You want to keep it like dip, and you'll feel that this is such a great technique for like finding your compression, especially if you're struggling with that. So this is not about toes to head, right? This is about that form. Good. Whew. We're gonna be almost done here, guys. This is such a beautiful way for me to really, I love opening my hips. I just store so much, what do you call this? Emotion, stress, whatever on my hips. Well, also my traps and neck. But I don't know, there's something about the hips for me that if I feel like super mobile, that it's like my day is okay. You know, my day feels great. Especially if you have Lyme disease, it's super crazy. Like I get really tight and super pain all of the time. That's why I do yoga a lot, because if I don't move in like 15 minutes with my scoliosis too, I get super sore back. Everything is gonna be super sore. Woohoo! All right, now to feel a little bit loose in there, we're gonna go bend our knees to one direction, mine to the left. Ooh, almost like a pigeon shape now. And then lift it up, and then to the other side. So if you're, right, you know, if you're already following me, I love doing this. Super great, because you're internally rotating your hips, neutral, external, or whichever you're, right? But both are working, right? If you really focus, internal, neutral, and external, but the opposite on the other side, right? This is so great. And if you could do this without the help of your hand on here, then you probably have a lot of like great mobility around your hips, because this is actually really hard too. Or maybe depends. Whew. Now twist. I love to add a twist here. So good. And then the other side, just twist. Right, we're gonna end in a happy baby pose. So just find your happy baby pose. Woo! Supine position. Oops, my bun. Yeah, okay. Have your feet inside, heels or toes, whatever you feel good in your happy baby pose. And we're gonna do a straight knees variation and then bend. I want you to do this repeatedly. And as you bend, I want you to focus on getting the knees closer to the ground as much as possible. So that's the focus, right? As you bend, drop it lower, straightening and dropping it lower. You will notice now that as you do that, your knees are gonna be, or your thighs, lower to your back, right? This, if you can achieve your knee down, then your groin area is really good. Then that probably means you're pretty good with your compression, right? If you can't and you're way up higher, then you're probably having a hard time with compression. Am I making sense? Please let me know in the comments. Because dude, sometimes a lot of you are getting my sense here. So I appreciate that. All right, now I do like to also get a rock of that happy baby. This is how I started to kind of really help even out my spine. If you have scolio, like me, ooh, so good, rocking it sides to sides, yeah. Yep. And we're gonna close our feet. Ooh, I love to do this fold as well, this way. And we're gonna end in a little bit of a core work. So have yourself in an L-shaped position. Hands over your head. And then I want you to focus on, instead of arching the back, right? Press your ribs down, so towards your spine. So now your lumbar should be glued towards the mat, right? Okay, from that 90-degree angle, you're gonna point the toes and flex. As you press your ribs down, drawing them together and bringing it down, right? And then lifting your hands over the head. Ooh. So there's that kind of sensation of opposite sensation. Instead of doing this, you're pressing it down. Ooh, right? Does that make sense? You feel that. Good. Point the toes and you're gonna let it down to like about 80 degrees and then flex. Ooh. Now this is gonna be really hard because your hands are over the head, right? So now I want you to slide your hands below your neck. Lift the head up and we're gonna press the lumbar down and we're gonna drop the foot in 10, 9, 8, it's okay if you're shaking, 7, 6, you can press your lumbars, 5, 4, 3, 2, point the toes here, 1, stay there, 10, 9, 8, press, 7, 6, press, everything is engaged in your legs, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. And we're ending in Shavasana. Oh, take a moment to thank your body. Thank you so much for sweating with me, guys. I appreciate you here, and I hope to see you again on my next one.